some hospitals in Korea have applied artificial intelligence program such as the Watson program in diagnosis of the disease. The first is the Bioethics Center. First speaker is Eun, professor at Hachon University Biomedical Center. The title is the intelligence, artificial intelligence and next medicine. Please, let's start your presentation.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. I'd like to share our experience of artificial so-called hospital in my hospital. Next, I'd like to talk about the medicine. I don't like to go in future. Future is the lack of the reality, so I'd like to say next medicine. Actually, in 1997, IBM cognitive computer Deep Blue defeat the legendary chess champion Garry Kasparov in Russia. At that time, it makes a deep impact worldwide. Everybody knows about artificial intelligence. Next time, in 2011, they moved the target to the Jeopardy quiz show. As you know, this quiz show is not simply called quiz show. This show, if you get the answer, you can extract many information and then integrate them and then make an answer. Then push the button and then if it's the human champion, you decide of the Watson. Red box. Pay attention to the red box. Red box means it's the probability of the answer. Once we calculate it, and the answer is ability is the probability of ability is 99%. Word treatment is 50%. Burnout is 10%. What does that mean? This slide shows in everyday doctor's life, every doctor make a rounding every morning, and then in front of the patient, they extract many information, then treat them, and then they guess what the patient disease is. Let's pay attention to the red box. Red box, GHF. GHF means congestive heart failure. It means probability of the congestive heart failure is 99%. COPD means chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Probability of COPD is 50%. This process is exactly the same as the Jeopardy quiz process. So next time in 1912, Watson moved the target to the hospital. For example, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center is the big three cancer centers in the United States. Worldwide, it is the top class of the cancer center. They have the Memorial Sloan Kettering doctors train the Watson for oncology. And then, after 2 years, 2014, they announced, report the results of the Watson ASCO meeting. It's the world's biggest cancer clinician meeting. After that, our hospital also to introduce this one for oncology to our hospital. And then at the beginning, many opposition comes up, and then we start to educate every doctor. And we made many seminars and workshops and education coursework. And then doctor's mind is a little bit changed. Finally, in 2016, September 8, we can launch the Washington Oncology in my hospital in Korea. And then we deploy the Washington Oncology in the real field. Currently, especially cancer patients, every cancer patient wanders from one hospital to another hospital only because they want to survive. Also, they cannot sure they can receive the right treatment in the right time. So, this wandering makes them many unnecessary costs. This cost is very high. Every patient wandering also spend the time. In cancer patients, right treatment is very important, but also right timing is very important. But spend a lot of time, it makes a very worse result. Fortune magazine said the patient is artificial intelligence means that the patient can get the same top-tier care as if they travel directly to the central office in Manhattan, because MSKCC is located in Manhattan. In the United States, patient doesn't need to travel for the right treatment to Manhattan. This is the patient's line for pre-treatment in Los Angeles. What does that mean? But inequality of the accessibility to the right and qualified doctors is very severe. Some people can easily access to the qualified doctor or surgeon, but many people very hard to meet surgeon. 1/3 of the population in the world, very hard or is impossible to meet the qualified surgeon, qualified medical doctors. And the other problem is every old people, they have averagely 4 chronic conditions. For example, arthritis, diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and hypertension, hyperlipidemia, etc. So, medical costs in every country is getting higher than every year. The red line represents the United States. The blue arrow is in Korea. Korea is more worse than the United States. So, prediction of cancer and prevention in early stage is very, very important. We must stop the disease process in the early stage. So, it can make the cost down and it can make some very effective treatment effect. And then we can reduce the patient suffering. This is the real one. Watson is the software as a service, so we can insert type the ID and password. And then, actually, this cognitive computing has the power to rendering the natural language. This is the real electric digital record. And rendering this record and extract the information they need, and then, in fact, what the patient is, and then they can answer. Unfortunately, but still we have to insert every attribute like this. So because there's many other problems, for example, data transfer problem. This is the Watson's answer. You can see the green and yellow and red. Green is the strategy, treatment of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital. Yellow is not a MSKC, but ambient is Cleveland and something like the high class cancer center regimen. And the red is not good regimen, so it doesn't allow to prescribe medicine. Also, they show the treatment type 9 is like this. So, currently, medical information doubles every 3 years, but by 2020, after 3 years, it will double every 3 days. It means doctors can handle all those huge data alone. So we have to collaborate with artificial intelligence. It's very essential. This slide shows patient side effect of the patient's regimen. Every detail we can give every detailed information to the patient. Red is the severe complication. Yellow is the moderate, and blue is minor. This is probability. We can use the pattern like this. 5 or 6 doctors discuss with patients directly, and Watson also they give to the patient their Watson's answer. So, satisfaction survey result is very high. 9.4 out of 10. Also, reliability survey result is very high. This is the information sheet. We can give every detail about their regimen, the evidence of our procedure. So, patient has the many information. Then now, patient has a big power. It's a real power shift from doctor to patient control. This is detail. Now, near future, we have to adopt a shared decision-making system. Patient also can say no. If doctors recommend A regimen, the patient refuses, I want to B because I don't want the hair loss because I'm a young lady and I have a job, so I don't want the hair loss. But I can stand a little bit mild nausea, so I choose the B. I don't like A. Patient start say to the doctor. No. It's a very important change. Also, we have moved to the intensive care unit because patient safety is very important to the hospital quality. This is our very usual thing. It's the so-called keep the patient. The keeping the patient is very labor-intensive work. After 30 minutes, after 1 hour, doctors lose their concentration, and then they're sick and tired of keeping the patient. But AI can, they don't feel any tiredness or they don't feel any, they don't lose any attention power. AI can detect the septic shock, for example, 24 hours earlier than human is very important. Only detection is can directly connect with the patient saving, life saving. So AI can reduce the human error. Right treatment is very important, but also right timing is also very important. So AI can assist to not lose right time. Also, AI can prediction of the many heart problems. For example, the tachycardia 1 hour before occurrence. Also, AI can manage the glucose level, so it's very important to diabetes patient. Also, AI can reduce the drug development cost. AI for drug discovery engine is very important development. This is a Russian mathematician. This mathematician refers to the world first GAN-based drug discovery engine. GAN means generative adversarial network technology. One of the machine learning technology, deep learning technology. They report this result to the oncotarget journal this year. So, this engine is very simple. Input every detail information about disease. Then artificial intelligence handle that, and then they can answer what is the most efficient drug for supplement. This is the world first AI-based supplement. They order, please make the ageless supplement. It means that's the death they declare. They want, we do not have to die. It's very attractive copy. The price also is very low. As you can see, it's $30. Because the development cost is very low, they can save this price. Also, recently, artificial intelligence, NVIDIA developed an AI algorithm that patient can track their report. For example, it's a very simple ad, wrinkle. Take a picture with your smartphone, your face, then send your face to the NVIDIA computer. NVIDIA computer tracking your skin condition. Like this. They make a tracking record and record to you like immediately. It means many of cosmetics, efficient cosmetics, they kick out in the near future. consumer doesn't want to buy that kind of limitation cosmetics. Also, this is the brand new iPhone smartphone. They have many sensors. They can check the many variables. For example, calorie burning, post, and how many thrust, average thrust velocity, thrust measurement. They can give every information to the wife. But it also means many supplements can be kicked out in the near future if their efficiency is very low. This is the patient face recognition and drug recognition combined system. Like this, they can take a picture with their smartphone and send the information to the main computer. Computer can, artificial intelligence can detect these patients take a pill in the right timing. Another important thing is the top 10 highest drug in the United States is 1 in 25 and 1 in 4 of the people who can take them is very useful. The other one is not useful. Some drugs, such as statin, routinely used to lower cholesterol, as few in 1 in 50 may benefit. It's very severe problem. Maybe this kind of problem is spent a lot of money in the United States. In Korea also, the same thing happened to in Korea. The other thing is Uber doctor. This is very simple. This is the driverless car. If patient wants, call the driverless car, and then driverless car approaches their home, and the patient get inside the driverless car. They can be the doctor like this. It can give the first contact, and then if the doctor can prescribe, or if patients have to come to the hospital, driverless car delivers patient to the hospital directly. Very convenient system. The other thing is hospital robot. This is Belgian, one of the Belgian hospitals. This is the paper in Tokyo in Japan. This paper works as a receptionist already.
Sorry, not much time is left.
This is our robot in paper in our hospital. And many hospital already comes up, and then exoskeleton robot also used in hospital for the safe patient handling, and many logistic robots already help our personnel. This is the training pictures. Now with our residents, many residents use the Google Play very easily. They can get training. Also, pathology, radiology, and then usually used. The other funny thing is Google declared live for 500 years. So some people, Russian millionaire, he believes he can exist like data. This is cryopreservation. The cost is not too high, $200,000. And then recently in the United States, in Pittsburgh, surgeons are now allowed to place patients in the state of surgical animation. It's a very important change in medicine. So we are worrying about the doctor's future. Maybe this polar bear, doctor's number is 33. Not so good. You can survive, I think.
Is there any question?
Thank you for your wonderful talk. And I think that this is really illuminating. But my question is that if the disease, health status, even dying is a process, then we think that so far, what we learn from the AI here and elsewhere is more like a one-shot intervention. So in that sense, in which way we can pursue a kind of interactive process to ensure the effectiveness of the AI. And thank you for your explanation.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough data. It's only we counted like 2015 actually December, so less than 1 year. But we gather the data. After that, we can report about the kind of question. But already many positive things comes out in our hospital. Most important thing is decision-making process. Yeah, I think it's more important than the result.
Is there any question? Yeah. Thank you for your presentation. Next speaker is from Dongbuk University, Korea. The topic is how to make Korea Watson. Let's start your presentation.
Good morning. I'm Chang Bo, adjunct professor in Department of Ethics Education and Computational University in Korea. I would like to introduce steps for writing into this honor presenting here today. This presentation has following limitations. First, I'm not an expert in legal. I think you are registered here. So the discussions here are not full of experts and deal with rather fundamental issues. Second, the detailed plan of how to develop Korean Watson will not be discussed due to lack of time. The details will be discussed in publication. The main highlights of my presentation are two things. First, rationales to why a Korean Watson is needed in Korea. Second, how to develop a Korean Watson. And third, what would be needed to build it. I raised three questions here, which I will discuss in the slide. Why the big five hospitals not adopt Watson? Here, big five hospitals letters to Severance Hospital, Seoul Catholic University Songpo Hospital, Seoul Asan Hospital, Seoul National University Hospital, and Samsung Seoul Hospital. Starting from Gachonggil Hospital in December 2016, Busan National University Hospital, Daegu Gyeongyang University Hospital, Daegu Catholic University Hospital, Gyeongyang University Hospital, and Busan University Hospital, along with Watson. All these hospitals are outside the metropolitan capital city of Korea. The following is an explanation of the artificial intelligence multi-discipline system of Gachonggil Hospital. Watson was introduced for the first time in Korea. According to the article, this was 90% dissatisfaction rate of patient for AI diagnosis. The following is explanation of artificial intelligence multi-discipline. Next is the data from Gachonggil Hospital in Korea, in particular it shows two reasons why patients fared differently in case of gastric cancer. First of all, certain types of cancer treatment is not covered by Korean National Health Insurance. Next, specific drug treatment widely used in Korea but not in the US. This presentation, metastatic colorectal cancer was particularly differed widely by country. This is due to the characteristics of the different national insurance and medical systems. However, Big Five hospitals in Korea are not adopting such a great artificial intelligence lesson. Why is that? This newspaper article may have some explanations. The Big Five hospitals already are overflowing with cancer patients that they do not need to try hard as other hospitals do. Problem is that Watson makes prescriptions that do not fit in Korean healthcare system. It doesn't comply with Korean medical insurance context and offers costly anti-cancer drugs, which therefore are considerably impractical. So we are asking ourselves, what exactly is the need for Korean hospital? Korean patients are powering Watson more than human doctors. Why do patients prefer Watson more than human doctors? Korean health professionals are too busy that they don't have enough time to listen to patients' needs and questions. Patients find it difficult to communicate with the doctors and start to develop complaint human doctors. The authoritarian cultural doctors towards patients make this worse. As it is well known, health professionals are overflowing, particularly in Korea. In this picture, doctors in residency program at Korean hospital claim to work 100 hours a week. The working hours of Korean nurses and doctors are very long. Therefore, automation and medical diagnosis aids such as Watson will reduce the staff workloads and improve their life quality. Although there is a lot of improvement, Korean hospitals have a structural problem that makes it difficult to communicate between doctors and patients, between members, health professionals, and between each hospitals. The following was being reported in the Korean newspapers. There are 5 things that artificial intelligence Dr. Watson has changed. This newspaper article summarized the changing culture in hospital with adoption of Watson. Korean patients trust the Watson's diagnosis than that of human doctors. Watson does not consider economic or physical condition of patients and only follows the algorithm authority of the senior professors. Or the hierarchy does not work with Watson's. Multi-department care would be established to work in the same capacity as Watson's. The adoption of Watson in Korean hospital has the potential to solve chronic issues faced in healthcare in Korea. Can we get this great healthcare service, Watson, for free? Yes. Hospitals that adopt Watson pay fee to IBM, and I know that the Korean government does not support this. As far as I know, only hospitals that pay royalties can use Watson. Every hospital needs Watson, but Watson is not free like Google search. Yet, can you force IBM to provide Watson to all hospitals in Korea for free? Can you use IBM Watson for free? Probably not. Hospitals that cannot afford to pay cannot use Watson. We need a local Watson by country. Governments need to develop an artificial intelligence doctor like the Watson and prove it to all hospitals. Of course, it would be better if the IBM praise is low. However, this hope may someday come true, but it cannot be done for the time being. Despite many shortcomings, Korean version of Watson is in every hospital in Korea. So how can we make Korean style Watson?
For today.
As noted earlier, Korea Koreanized Watson is likely to be able to improve the tendency of overly concentrate the patient in equine hospitals and balance it out, meeting the needs of CDSS networks. Before developing Korean Watson, three is needed. One, financial and policy of support for medical big data. Two, improvement of personal information protection plan in medical field. Three, establishment of plan for cooperation in medical field. In order to build the medical big data on how much of Korean medical practice culture will change to super big medical data. First of all, there should be a full stop to press 3 minutes patient examination. By taking time to examine patient, data-rich chart will be created, but it is not possible for the equine hospital in the Korean metropolitan area. Secondly, in order to get medical big data, we have to digitalize the existing data. This requires considerable labor. What will be the labor cost of this labor course? Who will pay for it? Will state support it? Will individual companies be able to afford it? Is it easy to use data from Korea CMR, HERA, or health ministries? All are said to difficult, but they have to be done easily. Finally, there has not been a tool that could balance the need for privacy protection and the need for public good and the guidelines for it is no realistic mechanism for harmonizing.
So we 3 minutes is left.
This is case of Gyeongbuk National University Hospital. This model is to digitalize the existing data of a hospital and build a database and analyze it with deep learning to create a medical diagnosis algorithm. Compared to developing Watson, it's much cheaper, but there is a shortage of data compared to Watson. It is a model that Korean hospitals incorporate their own medical information to develop algorithms. This model will create a suitable algorithm for Korean and Korean systems, but it will lack inclusion of global tendencies. This model is as follows. The hospitals that have introduced Watson into Korea jointly develop database, the materials they have prescribed throughout Watson. Then the algorithm will be made by analyzing this database again by deep learning. And I think this model is the best. The algorithm developed under this model will be called the KCM Watson, Korea critical disease support system network is seen. Here are some problems that might occur. Who will own KCN-Watson and who needs to develop it, and if all hospitals in Korea will be able to utilize it. It is a schematic for KCN-Watson development. For the rest, I will not discuss the word due to time. To conclude, a Koreanized Watson is necessary to improve the quality of care in Korea. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention and time. For your questions, I'll be happy to answer them by email.
Because Pamuk's 31st or something, so because someone like on the 31st is what the Pamuk told me. And then, because this is a 28 or 27. Yeah.
From Taiwan. Graduate studies with President training in medical humanities, social medicine, legal competence, and bioethics in the area of medicine and IoT.
Thank you for the moderators. I would like to have this apologize for the delay of my presentation. It's supposed to be on the Thursday, but now due to some professional business, so I have to thank you for the committee to reorganize the time. So I want to say something about the graduates that is with Western training concerned about not only based on the technology or the skill of the medicine, including the humanities, social medicine, and legal competence and bioethics. So this is the framework of my presentation, and I'm sure that is well known to all us here about the continuous education programs. So we need to have, based on the Belmont report, including the what we call the respect for the persons, and also for the beneficence, and also for the justice. This is the basic grounds for all the medical humanities or medical science. And then, based on this, you can see that in the very beginning, all our medical education much based on the basic science and clinical science, but we have to extend the ground knowledge of the medical student, so it should be extended to the liberal arts education, so for the supporting with the environments and link with the therapeutic prevention. So the optimal outcome is we need to redefine some pathologies, not only from the physical aspect, but also from the psychological and social and spiritual aspects too. And then, so social contract, so we can see this, the fundamental, what we call the framework, is including how we could challenge our medical education, and we define our clinical and pathological changes based on the clinical inquiries, but should be under ethical issues and professional systems, and also the medical humanities. So this is the moving towards for the patient focus or patient-centered, what we call the outcome research. As I'm sure that just the two presenters mentioned about the IBM Watson is based on the patient focus, centers, and outcome basis. So the hospital I'm working with is about more than 63 years old. So in the very beginnings, they find a list in that era. At that time, 60 years ago, there's an outbreak of the poliomyelitis. So a lot of the focus, a lot of the effort was based on that to handle these problems. And then up to now, and due to the aging population, Taiwan, we need to face another difficulties, challenges, including the long-term care, including we have a lot of the indigenous tribes concerned about their health because right now their life expectancies is 10 years less than our normal population. It means that this is for justice, where we need to focus on them too. And then of course about the community health. So we have a lot of the background description about how we work on that three categories together. So the aim of this investigation including how we could facilitate ourselves as a smart hospital, how to transform based on the patient focus, and of course, how to relink the information of the patient's status, and also including how to extend this to the proposal strategy plan for the future of precision medicine, and also how to relink interdepartmental cooperation within the hospital. I think this is the most difficult part. As you mentioned about the Korean colleagues, they still face the same difficulty how to link the different departments together to work on the same patients as we meet the patient focus. So the proposed study, we try to evaluate the feasibility of the clinical departments, how to cooperate in the hospital in participating in the projects under the international cooperative framework. So, of course, how could we collect the data? So the paperless medical record, and also the intelligent inform together. I think this is the basic one. And of course, we need to advocate to our colleagues in the Southeast Asia countries. And also, how could we establish some training program for all the staff, including in Taiwan and also overseas too. And also, of course, this is some of our experience working in Africa, in Malawi. So we assist them to establish the pay system, the mini pay system that they can work, and that they can, through the remote telecommunication, they can send the message, the image to the far away, no matter if it's in the United States, in Taiwan, in other countries, for the assistant to interpret the images. Okay, but on the other hand, we are not only capacity building in Taiwan, but we try to develop the local capacity building in the areas. So we establish the workshop and also the training program in the regions, and also we train the local staff to be the trainer of the trainer, and also we are assisting the whole national hospital information system in the areas start in 2009. And also through this is important. We need to develop the basic framework first. So I mean the National Health Basic Information, the Data Standard Committee will be established, and we are one of the members. And also we can see that through this network, through this effort, we find that the whole system in the country, we established about 15 sites for the developments. So you can see the total number of cases we are following up right now. And also, but we need to build up the resident training and the internship training too. So this is the more than 109 students, including in Taiwan and also including from the overseas. So this is the basic one. And then we extended project, how could we use the smart informatics and also the Internet of Things together in order to do more automation of the patient's care. So I think Internet of Things that we know quite well, but how could we manage that? So we find that before, most of the medical service based in the hospital, but now we need to extend the service to the community. So we need the health delivery system should be from the facility basis to the patient center or to the community centers. So a lot of them, including the mobility, including the data synchronization, including the patient accessibility, and also the patient quality accountability, and also the credibility, including. So we have to establish the mobile health or the mobile health service in the regions in the remote area. So, and also the patient center, we need to take care about the health promotion. So, including in the community, we develop the health promotion center. We use a lot of the devices together as a tailor-made health service to them. So a lot of the assisted self-care devices or devices-based healthcare system developed. And also, of course, in some areas we find that they are lacking of the national ID system. So we need to use the biometric information for the caring. So that's why we use this as a low cost as information system to, this is the base. Because under this infrastructure, we are able to do the cloud computing and also the data collection. So a lot of the training in the local setting has been established. And also we use the smartphone is very important because in the African area, we find that we need a lot of the remote areas. So we use the iPhone, the app, the apps to assist the healthcare workers to the regions to take care of the patient. And also this is we try to be self-sufficient. So this is the maintenance system. So finally, we hope that through this data system, we are able to our future development for the generation and application of genomic medicine in the future. Of course, we are the only one of the hospitals in the regions, but we need to cooperate with the medical center, with the university together under this ethics governance structure. And then through this, we are able to do all the data collection and also integrate the data center for the biomedical informatics, and including that finally can be used by the user, by the researcher, and also by the government and the local government. So we extend this concept to our friends in the Southeast Asia countries, and we assist them, we cooperate with them how to do the first round or the training. So we set up the course, and also we have established the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 development for the resident training in the regions. And then this is some of the program we have been working with the Southeast Asia countries in Cambodia, in Thailand, in Vietnam together. And also the third one is how to use this competence orientation curriculum of the program. So all the healthcare system, all the healthcare deliveries should be based on the community. So that's why that we work with all the hospitals together in the regions, and we establish the community setting in the region in Taiwan. And so this is one of the township. You can see that we work with other hospitals together, and with the health station, health post, with the community pharmacy store, and also with the community clinic. So this is a networking together. So we use the e-health platform for the living lab together. You can see the basic one is that the community. And they have the self-clouding, and they are assisting with each other, and also then the service can extend to the home, and also through the call center as a basis for the data integration and also for the healthcare platform. So this is all the information, even the cash flow, and also this is the important concept. The user, we are the providers, and also those who receive the care, they are the community, and also the student, they are the facilitation. So in this, we are working together as a collaborator relationship. Okay, phase 1, the healthcare devices trial, and then the phase 2 is about how to empower the elderly for the community participation. And the phase 3 is how to apply the service learning to foster user and server groups interaction. So this is some of the pictures, and then we get it from the workshop, from the learning process. And so we have some feedback from the tribe elders. Most of them are still satisfactory, and also from the user, from the provider, from the student side, they find that they can enrich themselves how to make use of the innovation platform, how to promote the health, and also how to do the cultural competence together. So, and also we try to cooperate this concept in the Southeast Asia countries with our colleagues in Cambodia, and also we are going to develop the MOU together, and we work on that. Yes. And the fourth one is about how to establish the care research model inquiring for the dynamic relationship among the gene behavior, environment, and medicine with genomic sequence analyzed in the futures. And so, who we are? First, we need to have established the leadership in big data and also precision medicine. And also, we use use the devices, link all the health service in the hospital setting, and also ensure that even some tourists can come comfortable to receive the service in Taiwan too. And the final is about facilitating mutual learning in history and for the future. Okay, this is one of our main Chinese very important concept about doctrine of the mean. We are not go too far from the right and not go too far from the left. So we have developed some what we call the therapeutic community level, including the hospital based on the first layer, and then they cover, and indeed they are covered by the township, and the final is you can see the whole community as a therapeutic community.
Mr. You have 2 minutes.
Yes, it's close to the end. Thank you. So finally, it's about the community mental health development. This is some of the program we are working with the Southeast Asia country, and also using the EMR for the hospital management, all the information linked with the at the home bases, in the community bases, through the clouding computing. And finally, it's about we hope that we can have a time for new Asia care value development. So this is one of the implementation task outcome we have received. Finally, this is our outgoal, that we hope that through this biometric reflection, we know that we need to raise the protection of the people's right, and how do we make use of the data linked by the fastest possible means, and also finally the public institutions to carry out the mission that we can provide and expectate this capacity. So this is the finals, and we hope that we have the reflexive medical professionalism, especially for the medical guidelines, and establish the new health technology, and in way consistent with the transcultural justice and optimum purpose to develop a civil economy in the field of the healthcare. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for a nice presentation. Is there any question? Please.
Thank you for the presentation. So, I guess I should be asking if we're trying to argue for development of national databases for medicine. Once those have been established and we're able to do some good with them, would the next step then be to make these international as well? Because I know specifically, at least an issue in the US, is that a lot of immigrants are taken away from their traditional medicines and forced onto them to have a Western perspective of medicine and healthcare. So, I don't know, what would your opinion be on that? Just to see if we can have that international exchange.
In Taiwan, it is more simple to answer this question, because our national health insurance covers including the Western medicine and traditional medicine too. So I think the data should be under the National Health Insurance Bureaus. There's no problem for, and indeed all the institutions, if they have the working plan, they can apply to get the data, the national data for the big data management. So we have 10 years our national data because we write a proposal and to ask for the permission to get the national data. That's no problem. But in the other country, it's a different story. But we have experience working in Malawi. Indeed, the Ministry of Health, they are very energetic to form this national health information system. So we are able, at the moment, they have certain standard or specification. First, it should be open source, open LMS. They use the Harvard standard. And the second, then it should be free. And the third one, then the server will be under regulated by the central government. Second, no matter which NGOs generate the data should feed back to the central government. They are doing the censor and also doing the regulation. So, but the problem is that a lot of the people, no matter in Taiwan, in Southeast Asia, in Africa, they like traditional medicine. So that is a missing data. That will be a missing data because, of course, our his system, they have some extension to collect your history, thinking about that you take some traditional medicine. But unfortunately, we can't control that kind of service. We just follow up and to put it in the clinical record, but actually we have no quality control on that. Right now, most of the countries in the Southeast Asia and also in Africa, they are only record the Western medicine or recording system only. Yeah, so this is the problem. But at the moment, we find that a lot of the awareness about how to integrate the traditional medicine and the Western medicine has been proposed. Even in Africa, they are really concerned about their complementary alternative medicine because they find that they have more than 1,000 years of experience. Why we cannot use it? So that should have some evidence base. So that's why a lot of effort have been put on that base from the support from the WHO too. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this section. Okay, let's cover it.